Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome to episode 101 Shrigleytube TV. Massive thanks for all the comments, the kind ones last week. Brilliant, that. Really appreciated every one of them. Thanks again for everyone that returned to watch me this Sunday night. I hope we're back to normal this week and you can see some engines being revved and a bit of machining and stuff like that. So, been a bit of a sticky week to say the least. Getting back into it after a lovely week off in Skegness was just hard. By Wednesday, I was dragging my feet, but I felt towards the end of the week it lifted a bit. I'm back into it now, so next week we should get a proper good week's graft underway, and yeah, we'll go from there. Now, it's Saturday dinner time now. Just MOT'd the old ambulance, so we're off to Cadwell Park to watch the special saloons. Apparently there's 33 of them booked in, so I thought that can't be missed. What an opportunity to go and see some proper engineering. So I'm going to go there now and video it. So hopefully by sort of Tuesday night, I'd hope to have compiled the videos from Cadwell. So if you want to revisit at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, I'll have them ready to go for you by then. All right, thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday at 7. Bye for now. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Monday morning, first day back in after my little holiday. Feeling keen to get stuck in. I've got Colin's head here, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm going to get that bolted, put together, shimmed up with the sport cam, and then we'll get that bolted on the block, hopefully all in today's schedule, and then it can be gluing, the glue can be drying, and we can get a tune out of it later this week. Also, we've got another 9:30 we've got to get stuck into for a chap called Julian, and another one for another chap. But anyway, I won't want to blow my mind too much on the first 5 minutes of getting in the workshop. We'll just concentrate on the job in front of us, get that done. We've got Simon Benoit coming today. He's dropping his gearbox off, which is munched itself, so we'll try and have a quick look at that together. And also Dennis Jones is coming to pick up some engine parts to get the exhaust manifold made for his 5 bearing 1150. So hopefully we'll get a chat with him as well. Anyway, I'll turn the camera around and look at this head together. So this is the 930 head that we skimmed the 80th thou off. I've done a bit of opening up of the ports, just not massive because we've only got small area in the cam, so we're going to keep the airspeed up. But I've done a bit of work on the short on the short term, which is just inside there, so that's all nice now. Now obviously this would have run originally with a single valve spring, and then it had a little valve guard oil seal, which I will show you a sample of. Not prepared this very well as usual. So that's the 930 type oil seal. Because this engine is going to run a sport cam, we have to lose the seal because this is a set of sport valves and set of sport springs. It has a double spring, so obviously it can't fit because the double spring gets in the way. So what I propose to do is, I've just been having a look at these original sport springs that I've saved out of a low mileage engine for this sort of job. They've not lost much height over the time. If I put them side by side, and basically I'm pretty convinced that both springs are the same. They've got the same amount of windings, etc. These are ever so slightly longer because they're brand new. So these are the new springs out of a standard 930 that ran with the oil seal. So we're going to ditch the oil seal, take the inner spring from the sport and put it inside the new outer spring, and that should give us the best setup for this sport cam that we're going to run in this head. So at least he's got a new outer spring. The inner spring doesn't get much grief, to be honest, but it's just a bit of extra spring seat pressure for the higher lift cam. So yep, I'm going to get that put together now, and then we'll bolt it on the engine, shim it up, and I'll join you later on today when we won't get it on the dyno today, but we should be able to turn it into some sort of a engine that turns over by the end of play, hopefully. Although I've just realised something major booby in that I took all my tools with me for the journey to Skegness, and they are still in the boot of the Audi. So I've got no spanners. Luckily, I've still got my Imperial spanners and some Imperial sockets. It's just all my metric stuff that's gone, and the socket, the wrench and stuff. So we should be able to get by for today anyway. I'm not going to start driving home and lose a load of time. Anyway, I'll stop waffling and we'll get on with this head. Morning, YouTubers. It's Tuesday morning. I didn't do a follow-up video on this yesterday because best way of describing it was a bit rusty on the spanners coming back in, and it basically took me all day to get the head back on, and then it was time to go home. So just to update you, this is Colin's engine. He's gone for the sport camshaft. he's supplied his own Strombergs. It's got a nice Maniflow exhaust manifold there. So we should see a good 60-65 horsepower out of this, and some good torque. At the back end here, you'll notice I've tapped this hole, which was normally for the water outlet, and I put this adapter in, which takes the 5/8 UNF thread for the temp sender. We put another hole here for the this is the heater that goes off. That's the hot water that goes to the front of the car to the heater, and this one is the bypass valve for when the thermostat is shut. And obviously I put a imp thermostat housing on there, so it's a 930 head, but it'll act and behave just like an imp head now. Obviously put no pressure switch in there for him. I'll get some of the dyno next, but I thought I'd just do a quick intro on where we're up to with Cole's engine. I'll talk about putting these pulleys on Daniel's engine. Right, okay, this is Dan's engine that we ran last week. You might remember it with the baffled exhaust that seemed to work quite well and blew my mind. Now, obviously, he's upgraded because he's going to be using more RPM, he's upgraded to a set of aluminium pulleys. I've got the alternator one, I'm just adapting that to fit now because obviously it's on a little modern alternator. And I was fitting the water pump one and I remembered something that was quite important, and I thought, oh, I should share that because these pulleys have loads of problems. Let me just get a screwdriver and show you. Now, normally the pulley is steel. So when you tighten the pulley up, it's driven off a little Woodruff key, which is here. That little key sits in that radius there. And then it's, let's see if we can zoom in. Can you see that little shiny diameter there? That's the inner diameter of the bearing. So you can see that moves. So what happens is, on the steel pulley, obviously, when you tighten it all up, it's steel and you can get a good tightness on it. When you're using an aluminium pulley, that aluminium there in the centre, it just digs in to the, well, it digs in, should I say it settles on that little small diameter there. And what happens is, eventually, they work loose and they start rattling. I've seen loads of these wrecked. So what I do is, I just get a washer, bore it out, and we put that washer on first. And then what that does is, that spreads the load. So now, when we put the aluminium pulley on, it'll be against the whole of that face. And the aluminium obviously stands a much better chance of being clamped and remaining clamped for the duration of its time on there. So that's what I'm doing there, just making a little washer for it. I'll get that all clamped up. We'll check the alignment with the straight edge, get the alternator on, and then we'll run it again, and then it'll be in the outfit. That was an ordeal. Right, I've finally got this all together now. This is the big pulley for the alternator. Obviously, I had to make a step on it and shoulder and machine the washer down and do all sorts. Also to get it all in line because it wasn't quite in line before. So we've got all that nice in line now. So everything should go around nice and sweetly. I've just done a little video of it running, so I'll put that on next. Also, as we talked before, we've now got big washers either side of the aluminium, so it's clamped, Loctited, so that'll never work loose now. That'll be good forever. That's also Loctited, so that won't work loose. What I was going to say was, I've seen this Bryce little link a few times on these. I've seen them bolted on this side and all sorts, but I finally understand now how it works. It's quite good actually. It does, by coming forwards off there, it misses the belt basically. It's quite clever. So found a belt that was nice and snug, so I always like it when the alternator's dead low down, you know. I've got it right against the plastic here. I hate it when they're stuck up on a big angle and vibrating round, so that'll all be good, that. I'm quite pleased with that. So we just ran it up and just runs sweet as I thought. It's going to be a nice little roadie this for him. He'll enjoy this. So we'll ring Dan now and arrange for him to come and collect it, and hopefully we'll get him to do a little video. Okay, I'll get on the next job now. Hey YouTubers, it's Wednesday afternoon. Just to refresh your memory, this isn't Dan's engine. That is become a tool bench now, and it's on this side of the workshop waiting to go out tomorrow. This is Colin's 930, the one that we had on the bench that I've been putting together. So this is a brand new 930, but with a sport cam, bit of fettling on the head, and he asked me to take a little bit more for head, so we got it into the sort of 10.5 to 1 compression ratio area. Obviously he's running standard pump. These are a 930 pump, but they still only do 2 psi, which is perfect for the Strombergs. That's all working nicely. He'd supplied a brand new Maniflow exhaust. It's really quiet. It's going to be lovely, that. So put that all on. Obviously it's on, I've put one of the 930 starter motors on that's been re-drilled so it suits the imp bell housing pattern. And we're running the full Lucas type fuel injection, electronic ignition, which it looks like that. They used to live on the inner wing of like a Talbot Sunbeam, and they've got like a jelly in the back that I've been advising people to cover it with silicone because it does get warm and drip out, you know, if the unit's vertical. So all that's on. Obviously I supply the coil as well, and it has a little ballast resistor that helps it all work. God knows how, but it all works really well. So put all that on, and what I'm really excited about is, well, it's a bit sad this, isn't it? But this thing is doing 65 foot-pound of torque at 4,800 revs, which is just 60 horsepower. But it'll probably go a bit higher because it hopefully it'll rev out till 6,500, 7,000, even though it's only got a very, very mild sport cam in it. So what I'm excited about is it's doing it all with 27 degrees of advance in it. Now normally we have to run more advanced to get power out of things with low compression, but because it's got a sport cam in it, obviously we've always talked about it, don't we? The static is about 10.5 to 1. The dynamic is obviously quite high because it doesn't need loads of advance to make it do the power. In other words, it's quite efficient. It's got a good bang going on in there, and also the 930 chamber I think is much superior to the shape of the standard imp chamber because it's oval. It's like the burning area is a lot better. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I'm giving myself a big pat on the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the other room now and we'll wind it up together, and we'll see if it can do 65 horsepower. That'd be really nice, that. And we'll see what torque it's got down at the bottom. Okay, YouTubers, we're on and running with the 930 on the dyno. What I forgot to say in my previous talk was Colin supplied these Strombergs, and I was absolutely dreading putting them on because I thought I'll end up losing half a day stopping them from dripping, etc. But you know what? I put them on. I've meddled with the enrichment, obviously, by lowering the jets to get the plug colour correct. But no, they're absolutely bob on. Can't believe it. Brilliant. I may even do some Strombergs at some point, you know, fully rebuild them and blast them all up, and we'll do a video on it because I think there's going to come a point where we can start using these more. I just need to make friends with them first, because the experience I've had in the past has just been nothing but drips and no power. Anyway, I have to say I have run the engine a bit more, and it's doing exactly what a sport cam does, which is a great 60 foot-pound of torque everywhere, and then once it gets to 5,500 it just falls off the edge of a cliff. I held it to 6,000 RPM, and it did 50 foot-pound, which is roughly about 55 horsepower. So peak torque is about 4,500, and yeah, it falls off. Now the exhaust system's quite long, which will also be bringing the torque further down the RPM range. So yeah, it'll be a great drive. It should be quite nippy in his car, but realistically, if he wants to make it hang on better, he's going to have to put an R17 cam in it. And it's funny actually, because when I was building it, you may remember earlier in the video, I used the new outer spring with the sports inner spring, and then I ended up taking it all apart again and fitting a set of double competition valve springs, because I just thought to myself, he may end up wanting to put this on an R17 cam. Just to give you a bit of background, this is a lad from Scotland who's been running a Honda Blackbird engine in his imp, so he's going down. He's downsizing a bit power wise. So yeah, well, he's got the springs in it anyway. So if he decides he wants to put an R17 at a later stage, but it might be all right. He might be quite happy with it. We'll just have to see how it gets on. Anyway, let's see what it does. We'll try and wind it up low down. See what it's like at around 3.35. Grab it there. Let's go straight round to 4. Strong at this area. It'll be a good driver, this. Right, 2,500. Let's go wide open there. Straight to 4. So it's still doing the 65 foot-pound at 4. It will get better as it beds in. Right, I've got it loaded right up now. Let's see if we can get it at 3 there. So at 3.5 it's still doing 64 foot-pound. See if we get a lower one without the drive shaft having a big rattle on us. 3,058 foot-pound. Try and get it again while the drive shaft's quiet. So 2,700 it's doing 58 again. Right, let's not load the shaft up too much. It doesn't like all that low RPM stuff. It's much happier at 9,000. Right, back in the dyno off, just reducing the amount of water going through it so that it can lift the RPM up. 3.5 there, doing 64. Leave it wide open, eh? 4,500 still holding 65. 5,000, 60. 5.5, we're down to 57. 6,000, it's at 50. Yeah, I don't think there's much point bringing its net past there, is there? All it is I don't think it's the head that's a restricting factor, because it has got sport size valves in it. It's just purely the cam hasn't got the area to get the air in. That's why it's so good at the bottom, because the cam's working correctly there and it's got quite a nice manifold on it. So yeah, it's all as I'd pretty much expect, but it's doing it all with only 27 degrees of advance, which means we've got a good bang going on in there. So that's pleasing, learn that. We'll look forward to getting the next one built. Ring Colin and tell him we can come and collect this engine. Okay, YouTubers, that's that one in the out tray. Now, I'm going to do a bit of the sales pitch now. I do sell all these parts, as you'll know. I'll sell the complete engines, converted or unconverted. But if you do want a starter motor, they are £100 plus VAT plus post, converted to fit an imp. So literally you just join the 2 wires together on your solenoid, you know, the big bus wires, you put them together, and then your little exciter wire comes down to here, to this one. And that's you. That'll work straight away. If you want an ignition system, obviously quite expensive to buy illumination kits now, so I can supply you a brand new 45 D4 Dizzy with cap, with leads, with rotor. It has a little magic eye inside. Just take this off. It has that type. I think they call it a Lucas AB14. So I can supply you a complete ignition system, Dizzy, cap, leads, the module, the loom and the amplifier, and I've also got a little piece of paper with a diagram showing you where these wires go. This is all you've got to do. It's literally one wire. As you can see, I've chopped one wire off there to connect it. It's a 12-volt feed. This has to be earthed. That's very important. And then one of these is your tacho, and one of them is, if you wanted to run it, it's quite a clever system, but it's basically a ballasted coil system. So you have another wire here which you can wire up to here somehow via this very clever bit of paperwork that Bernie worked out for me, and it basically gives you 12 volts on cranking, but they fire up absolutely fine just using the one wire. Obviously you get a coil with it as well. So it's a complete system for 150 quid I'm selling them for, plus VAT. So if you want one of them, just give us a bell. Fuel pump, got fuel pumps. These are great, these. They run an insulator plate, so the heat doesn't transfer through, so the fuel stays cooler, you know. So less chance of vaporization if you've been on a long motorway journey. They're brand new. I'm doing them for 20 quid each plus VAT. Obviously, if you want a filter housing for a spin-on type, they're 60 quid plus VAT, plus post. So yeah, if you want them parts, just give us a bell and we'll sort them out for you. Right, I'll finish the hard sell now. Hey YouTubers, one's completed, thought better get the next one on the go. So this is Alan's 1135cc grass track engine. So it's in for liners, long story short. I mean, we did discuss it a while back. I don't know if I can show you now. But the pistons have got a funny side marker, though I can't see it on that one. Or that one. There it is. So, and that one's quite prominent. So you can see the issue is we've got this right nasty mark at the bottom of the liners. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Is the piston tipping? What's going on? And then it dawned on me what was up with it. Basically, the liner is about 100 mil long. Obviously, it's like a 70 mil stroke crank or something like that, 68 or something. And what's happening is the piston at bottom dead centre is being exposed. So it has got some pretty nasty marks in the liner as well. I can see it'll show you on the zoom in there. But there's obviously been some contamination as well through. It's very hard with the auto grass job to keep the muck out. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I've just put a crank in it so I can see where my piston's sat, so I know what I've got to play with at the top. I can see he's down a bit, so we can easily have a good 5 skim off the top when we put it back together. So I'm going to bore these liners until they collapse. Then I'm going to take it all apart, take the plate off, we'll clean it all up, take the crank out obviously. Then we'll bore some new liners and we'll make some new liners, drop them in and then finish bore it. But the new liners will be 10 millimeters longer, so when the piston is at bottom dead center, the skirt won't be exposed at all. It'll be fully shielded all the way. And then we'll get it back in the post. Alan's going to build it because he's keen to get back out in his grass track imp. So that's the plan for today. We'll see how far we get. YouTubers, it's Wednesday evening and it's our Hillman club where we all congregate at a pub and talk about Hillman. So I've dug the husky out and had him washed by the local car wash. And I've just come to pick my mate Bernie up. Now Bernie has been building a Hillman imp van, a Comet imp van. I went with him to buy it and it was an absolute wreck. It'd been in a shed for about 30 years. Wasn't. Hey Bernie, where was it we got his car from?
Ashton on the line, wasn't it?
Ashton on the line, that's it. Yeah. But it was the wife's car, wasn't it? Or something?
It was.
Yeah, and she'd had it. It was rotten as a pear, mate. You've had it on a spit, I take it.
Yeah, I've had it on a spit.
Let's have a look underneath. Oh, she's looking awesome, mate. And it's a proper Comet van, this. It's not a husky, is it?
Yeah, it's a Comet van, yeah.
Mate, this is like an Aladdin's cave in here. You've done a cracking job of that. It's going to be a minter, mate. Is it going to be ready for the Imp National Weekend?
Next year.
Next year?
Next year.
Well, I've got some good news for you. Your engine's on test in the back of the husky. We're going to go in the club to it. Test it out.
Yeah,
and then it's a big mover on her, isn't it? If you've got a gearbox, haven't you?
The gearbox is down there, yeah. It was a good clean up.
How long had you had that stored for in that garage when we went to see it?
40 years.
40, was it?
Yeah.
Even though it was a dry-ish garage, it was cream cracker. The concrete, the moisture had come up, hadn't it?
And the roof had started leaking onto
the bonnet, that was it.
To this side, yeah, so all this has been.
It's had 4 wings, has it, I take it?
3-wheel axles and a full wing on this side.
That was where the leak one was, it?
Yeah. That's where the leak was, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's mint, mate. So you got someone coming to paint it, have you?
Yes.
Have you got any other goodies here you want to show us?
Any other goodies?
No, it doesn't matter, I'm only joking. I know you've got your... is it Gladys?
No, Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
The camper?
The camper van, yeah.
Right, well, we'll check that out if you don't mind. Through another little door into a garage I didn't even know existed. And this is where Bernie's Super Minx.
Super Minx.
This is the one I took a snapshot of at the club the other day. It's a belt of that, mate, isn't it? You like that one, don't you?
We do. Just come back from Jersey.
Oh, is that you went to Jersey in?
Yep.
Bernie went
to... That's right, it hasn't been washed.
Hasn't been washed, it's just come home. Never missed a beat. Tell me it never missed a beat.
Never missed a beat.
Wow. How many miles? 600, 700?
About 650, yeah.
650?
Yeah.
Belting that, mate. Thank you. Okay, YouTubers, we're at the Dog and Partridge, which is our Hillman Club meeting. We've got a lovely husky there. That's my mate Stuart's Ginetta he's had painted. Why are you running, Stu? Yeah. Oh, he's on the... Look at the proud owner there. Cracking that, mate. Oh, that can be a thumbnail, that. Over here we've got... That's John Keane's little green Singer. Bob Hawes' Black Imp. He's finally had the front wing repaired after 6 years of it being damaged. And we've got a newbie. Now, Chris has been a member of the Hillman Club forever. And this used to be a loved car, but a bit rough. And he's restored it. And he's painted it himself. Look at the job he's done of that. It's absolutely stunning. Paint, you can't really get an idea of how glossy it is, but it is absolutely belting. Chris, do you mind if I call you for a minute? Mate, that's a cracking t-shirt you've got on there.
You're right.
Mate, sorry to pin you down, like. Are you sure you painted that yourself in the garage?
Yeah, good fun. Yeah.
What is it, 2-pack?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Mate, did you have to buff it? Did you have to rub it down with like thousands for ages, or?
So yeah, what we found was you couldn't really see it on the original paint, but strangely enough, whoever owned the car previously must have just kept putting the keys on the top here. It was all covered with tiny little like dents just on here. They must have done it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the biggest bit out of the roof to pull out. But yeah.
Have you put wings on it and that, or arches?
Yeah, so 3 repair panels round the backside and here, and a new wing from Frostini himself. So,
Oh, Vincenzo.
Yes.
He's in there.
Yeah.
We'll try and collar him as well. Can we open the door? Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this was not in as good a condition last time I saw it. It was solid. It was always a solid car. But you've done the door shuts and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, there's some... Oh, look at the carpet. You've gone to town on this. That's lovely.
I bought the steering wheel from yourself, I think. Or donated, can't remember.
Wow, you've painted it and put a cover on it. I was going to say, let me guess the seats. They are Audi TT. Did you buy them off me?
No, I didn't. No.
I had some blue ones, didn't I?
Yeah, you sat in this when I first had it, and it was a bit crusty, and said, "Oh, these are fantastic." But
yeah, they're quite
seats.
narrow. Yeah, you've still got the room for the handbrake, and the door pocket misses the thing.
Yeah, I think a couple of people have done it now. It's
You've got them sat just right, mate. Yeah, superb, mate. Absolutely superb. You've done a absolutely cracking job of that. So, what's the plans for the future, mate? I believe you're thinking about changing the carburation.
Yeah, I was thinking of bike carbs. Not too sure what to do on that, but yeah, maybe some bike carbs or maybe Webbers. Now we've had a bit of a chat, so
yeah.
That should be quite interesting.
I only said Webbers because I can deal with them. Bike carbs are a bit tricky for me, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
But we'll have a look at the options and that.
Yeah.
What size wheels are they? Are they 8s on the back?
Yes. And
They fit really well, don't they?
6.5s, I think, on the front. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, no, they look absolutely bob on them, mate. They're like alley cat copies, are they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Mm.
Is it John Brown?
John Brown.
Yeah, John Brown wheels, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Mate, it's absolutely cracking that.
Yeah,
Well, mate, it's really good to see it in the end. And are you going to be at this year's Astor weekend?
Possibly, maybe not, but we'll see.
Not fancying the drive down?
Yeah, a long way. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens. Brilliant, mate. Thanks for being on Shrigleytube.
You're welcome.
Okay, YouTubers, we've got Edward here. He's brought his magazine. He's brought his very clean engine head. It didn't look like that in the video you sent me.
No, because we had another dusty event.
I like your t-shirt, mate.
I know.
Nice.
I had to wear it. I get £200 off my bill if I wear this.
Honestly,
when I come down here. Yeah.
Wow, that means like, crikey, that's awesome, mate. Well, I better delete that bit. Mate, look at this video. This picture here. Ed Linton and Suzanne Barker. Superb, mate. Is that the dust that you was up against?
Yeah, we should have won that, but we made a few mistakes in the morning. But then we pulled it back on the navigation in the afternoon.
Really? Is this the one you did last?
This is the last one we did, yeah.
So
Where the engine was sweet, but the problem is we had the clutch kept slipping.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. Ever since we've gone on to competition
Friction plates.
friction plates, but organic ones, I don't think they're thick enough.
Well, you know what? When you said to me after the event that from the very start when you fitted it in, the clutch bite was right at the top of the pedal. That isn't how an imp should be.
No.
And we did measure that plate and it was thinner. So I think we need to understand, and before you enter another event, make sure the bite is at the bottom so it's got the correct pinch on the plate.
So we've sent the 2 pressure plates to be reconditioned.
Re-shimmed, he's re-shimming them.
Re-shimming them and facing
Right.
them up because they're good laycock ones.
Yeah, they're belting them.
And I think I'm going to go. A few people advised. Mike Dent actually said to me, he said, Ed, people say that the paddles wear out quicker, but he did the full season on one paddle. So
Well, we can stop it from slipping.
Yeah.
The only reason they're wearing out and it's tearing the flywheel up, we've got the flywheel here somewhere, haven't we? The flywheel's got like, you can see the heat in it where it's just torn the top. So that's just pure friction from it slipping.
yeah,
So Ed's just turned up with the engine because the rear oil seal, you can't see it now because he's steam cleaned it really well. This is a conversion and it just started to weep a bit. So I'm hoping that we put a new seal in it. I'm hoping it was just a dust. It does get extremely dusty. If you don't mind, I'll tag a few little snippets of that video you sent me.
yeah.
Because it was unbelievably dusty, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway. Oh, water pump. You killed the water pump as well.
Water pump. It was the fan belt was being a little bit noisy all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't check it, but again, some bolts had come loose on the water pump. The water pump was 5 degrees out to the alternator and
Right.
the main pulley.
Jeez. Oh yeah, you can see here it's all gone a bit loose, hasn't it?
So it was loose, which is elongated these.
Yeah.
So we'll have to put a new
The
one.
big
of
problem
those
with it all is because you've got the plastic being sandwiched.
in. Yeah.
The plastic settles over time, and you've got to keep chasing them up because it just obviously loosens off. What really we should make is, thinking about it now out loud, is some steel top hat washers to go inside there, and then you could pinch it up tight, and the plastic could still be, doing its job, but not part of the actual structure of it.
Right, yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, thank you very much for starring on
Okey-dokes.
Shrigleytube, and I do hope you get to the bottom of your problems eventually.
Well,
And
we're waiting for the competition place that I've sent the clutches to come back to me. They're going to test everything,
right.
and yeah, we're going to go onto a paddle, I think.
Yeah, and if it's not at the bottom of the pedal when you buy it, the bike's not right, and it's any chance of it slipping, we'll take it apart again and get it right so that you're not messing about. Yeah, definitely. Brill. Right, thanks, Edward.
Okie dokes.
Cheers.
See you soon. Take it to you on Monday. Just showing you that pipe that was loose just allowed a little bit of dusting. And that's the oil leak from the rear main. Just thought I'd show you those before we wash the engine down. So this is how dusty the engine got after the last event. Airbox seems to be doing the trick.
Okay, YouTubers, we've got an engine that's arrived for dyno testing. It belongs to Trev. Trev's very kindly agreed to talk to us on YouTube and tell us a bit about the engine and its history. And Kev's got quite a special racing G15 with a Carter engine, a fuel injected one, I believe.
Yes.
So
110 brake horsepower.
110 brake horsepower. So Trev's been like racing forever. I'm sure I've met Trev before, or hill climbing, sprinting, sorry. I think we might have met many years ago.
Yeah.
But basically, was it one of your friends, this engine? Your friends, was it?
Yeah, Davis Sandbridge ran in modified on slicks, on small road wheels to lower the gears.
Oh, right.
And he didn't win any prizes. He just got, Spirit of the Championship for plugging away, because he was up against serious competition.
Right.
And, and he was in his 80s, I think. So,
Wow.
So, he wasn't going to win.
So I believe the car came up for sale and then it got bought and broke.
Yeah.
When you were trying to buy it, you were actually in the process of buying
I wanted to buy the car, and somebody bought it from underneath me, and then sold me the engine.
Right.
And which I was a bit miffed about. I didn't think the car should be broken up.
No. It happens quite a lot, I'm afraid, in these circles.
Yes. And,
It's just the way it is.
Right. David campaigned this engine for a good number of years, and it was actually looked after by Ian Carter, because David was local to him. David was a farmer, and I bought it as a spare engine for my my Carter engine, in case anything happened to that. And it's been mothballed, and we've breathed it back into life, and it's alive and well. So
yeah, we just fired it up. We put a new oil filter on. We've got some new oil to put in it here, so we're going to put this oil in it. This is what Trev's brought along, some Valvoline 2050. Imps aren't oil sensitive, so that'll be fine. That just to give you an idea of the spec of the engine. The reason I'm doing this is because basically Trev said, I want to sell this engine, and I said, well, the best way of selling it is if we can get a tune out of it first, and make, because it's been stood since 2014, was it?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's 11 years or whatever. So I thought, we've put it on the dyno. I'm not joking. It fired up. We've just checked the ignition advance. The carbs aren't even dripping. I can't believe it. You know, normally they're an absolute pain, but it picks up and runs really well. So I think it's got roughly, I'd say about an hour 20 cam in it, listening to the way it runs. It feels quite perky. Yeah, it's got obviously twin forces, a nice Fraser manifold that's not been mangled in any way. Spin-on oil filter housing. It's got the lumination kit on it, the old Optronic. Obviously that's my starter motor. I'd imagine it's a 998. Looking through the ports, which I did take a snapshot of, I'd say it's a big valve head. And I'd say that looks like Ian Carter's welding as well. I did notice there was an ACE stamp on it on top of here. I took a picture of that as well. So we'll put some oil in it, Trev, and we'll get a tune out of it, and we'll see. We won't go too crazy because it's been stood for a long time, but we've given it a basic service. We've changed the oil and filter. Short of taking it apart and rebuilding it, I think we'll just run it. You tell me how many RPM you want to go to, and we'll just do that and see how it behaves.
Well, just take it steady. I mean, you know, my sweet spot is 9, but we won't take it.
No, I think 7.5.
7.5, yeah.
7.5 will be fine for it, just as a gentle wake up, because he's been asleep for 11 years.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Let's get some oil in it, and then I'll join you in the dyno. So. Right, okay. Me and Trevor here now. We're just gonna put a bit of load on. It's running quite warm this, because it's got a thermostat in it, which you may have to take out, or it may end up blowing the bottom hose off because there's no bypass pipe on it. So you imagine the water pump's working quite hard. There's nowhere for it to go when it hits the start. Oil pressure's good. We'll wind it up at 5. 68 foot-pound. Quite reasonable, huh? A bit higher. So at 5.56 it's doing 63. Bit of smoke, some of that's residual just from what's been hanging around because we've let it warm up for a while and we've changed the oil, etc. Let's see if it does any more. So 7.2. Oh, there goes the water. Like I said, it's blowing the water pipe off. I knew it'd do that. Right, tell you what, let's turn it off, take the thermostat out and do it properly. Okay, we're back. I've just removed the thermostat so that the water's got somewhere to go, because really if I'd known it had a thermostat in it, I'd put a bypass hose for the water to go around, because obviously the water pump's spinning at crankshaft speed and produces quite a lot of pressure, as you saw when it blew off the pipe. So I've also just been in and put a bit of cheeky advance in, just a couple of degrees, because I noticed that the pipes were going red, the exhaust pipes, the primaries, which means the ignition is retarded. So we'll put a bit of load on here now. It's more like it, isn't it? 70 foot-pound at 5. Bearing in mind, all we've done is the oil and filter. We've not put new plugs in it, not cleaned the carbs. It's quite remarkable, really, this truck.
Yeah. It's been looked after.
At 5.5, we'll leave it wide open. 6, 68 foot-pound. It is smoking a bit. It is burning a bit wide open. Yes. It may want a set of rings or pistons or whatever, but I don't think. What I'll say is, it looks really bad in here because it's a confined space.
Yeah.
When it's in the car on track, you probably won't even notice it. Right. It's weird.
Have we got time for a compression test?
Yeah, you can probably, I can do a pressure test. I'll just see what it is. I'm trying to establish what cam it is. I think it's like an R20. It doesn't come alive, so it must all be down below the torque. I think 4,000, 4,500 is it. So there, so 4,000 is your peak torque, really, about 70 foot-pound. Yeah. But it's fit, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just a second-hand 998 engine, which probably doing about 80 horsepower, but we'll have a look and work some figures out.
Right.
Perfect. Okay, YouTubers, it's Friday morning. Thought I'd better give a bit of an update as to where we're up to, because you think I've been lazy doing no work, but I have been busy with the 930s trying to get them together. I've got a couple of free on the go, trying to get them out for next week. So this is a liner, a longer liner that I make, 2 liners for this job here, which is Alan's grass track engine. So if you remember, this is the one that had the short liners in earlier. We talked about how the piston was protruding at the bottom. So I've made the new liners 110mm, so the piston will be fully shielded at bottom dead center. And I've just basically it was all covered in old Loctite from the old liners, and I've been here before where you clean it all, but because it's all raced and moved, the bore is never round. So because we run such a tight tolerance with the new liner, it's actually quicker to just set it up on the machine, collapse the liner, and then obviously clock up on the liner and then bore it again. I've just took another 10th thou out, which is, this is fine. It's only 77.5mm, so that's not anywhere near the danger point of making it too thin in the middle. So I've got nice round holes now, and then obviously in the same operation I put the flat on for where the liner sits, so everything is concentric, so that when we put the new liners in, it'll all glue up dead nice and be a good job. So that's on the go. Over here, this is a plan for my American friend Simon. Now Simon's sent his engine back from America. You might remember we did a test at Three Sisters early on in the videos, quite a few episodes ago, where I had a little 1150 that was going to America, and I wanted to test it in the car as well as dyno it, because it's such an expensive piece of water. So he sent it back and said, look, I need more power. So obviously he's been watching the videos, I think, with Simon. So he's asked me to make it a bigger engine or whatever. So what I've done is, this is Simon's 1200cc engine from last year. Now, it was great. And then what happened was, I decided to put him on that new rod. So we went for the 2-to-1 rod to stroke ratio, if you remember. So we ended up with the super long rod engine, which is actually in the workshop now because we're going to dyno it again. So we'll go and talk about that next. Now, this is the first engine, which is on a longer rod, but only 1.7 rod to stroke ratio. So what I've done is I had some pistons made a while back, which were JE pistons, and they're 74.5. It's going to give us, I think, about 12-15cc. So I thought I can make this like a fresh engine again, because it was only new at the beginning of last year, because it had, if you remember at Donington, it cracked the liner where the corrosion had got it on the outside. So it had new liners in it last year. So it's all settled. I bored it again to 74.5mm, so I just took 20 thou out of it, and I'm going to hone that up, clean it all, and then what we're going to do is we're going to Simon's engine out of the box that it's coming, dyno it as it is, get a set of figures off it, and I'm going to reblock it, make it 1200cc. Hopefully we'll find some more horsepower and definitely some more torque, and then send it back to him. But that's all in the grand plan. Over there, you probably can't tell because I've been skimming cylinder heads for the 930s, so they're all in there. So I've got 4 heads on the go, all skimmed. I've done the port throats, so that they just want all the grease to come off them, and then we can blast them, wash them all off with the hot steamer, and start getting a build on with the 930s, because I want to get a few more in the out tray before we finish and start moving. Because I have good news in that the electrical contractors have just got to sign off electrics at the new workshop, and then we can start moving in, hopefully. Let's have a visit from Simon on Monday. He brought the 2-to-1 rod to stroke ratio 1200 back that he'd done a few races in, Last time he raced was at Cadwell, and he was going really well. He did 2 races there. In the second race, he was running 6, and then unfortunately there was a red flag, and on the restart he burst the casing on the gearbox. I think he sent me a picture of it with it cracked. Is it that side? Yeah, is it down there? You can see oh yeah, you can quite clearly see it. It literally burst the casing. So not quite sure what's gone wrong with that. That's not my department, but that's going to go away to get fixed. And I said, well, if you're taking the engine and gearbox out, would you mind bringing the engine back? Because I'd like to have some more time with it on the dyno. I just want to try a few different things. So that'll be nice. We'll get that on next week and have a good run on it and see if we can find him just a couple more GGs, because he is getting towards the pointy end of the field. So that's the plan for that. This one's Colin's engine we ran, was it yesterday or the day before? That's in the out tray now, waiting to go out. So he's going to come for that a week on Monday. So that's about where we're up to. I'm going to go and find Bergerac shortly and see if we can get a catch up with him, because he's been to... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. He's been to Italy for a wedding. So we'll go and catch up with him, see how he's doing. Our news, chaps. Percy Passat has broken down. Luckily I fixed him in 10 minutes, so he's still in my good books. But last night, picked the kids up, no power steering. What's going on? Percy doesn't break down. He's the best car in the world. Been absolutely cracking car this. I've had loads of different cars, all different types, all different makes and models. But for some reason, I absolutely love this car. It's cracking. It's got ice cold air conditioning. It's the most economical car I've ever owned out of everything. It's had a failure, so we might remember I got driven into the back of going to Mark Maynard's. Someone made a right mess at the back of it. You can see that here, but I just bashed it out with a hammer and it's been fine. The car behind came off worse because I think the tow bar munched his radiator. But anyway, obviously what's happened is this power steering cooling mechanism has fell off, and then we've had a chafing situation. I don't know if it'll zoom in or not here. That little hole there, this bit of pipe, I've cut it out. It had basically been chafing on the bumper. It lost its power steering, so I've just put a piece of pipe in temporary just to fix it. Temporary permanent repair, that means I intend to buy a new one, but if it doesn't leak, which it isn't at the moment, and it stays working, it will be classed as a permanent repair. Anyway, I've nearly done 15 minutes maintenance now, so we're over our time limit on fixing Percy. Hopefully, I want to lift the bonnet again for another 100,000 miles. It is. Will he be working? Oh, for God's sake. Oh, he's grafting. Oh, my. Have you tripped up, mate? Have you tripped up?
Well, this is what Sarah calls my work pyjamas, because I like to have a lie down, you know.
You're doing a bit. I'm doing.
You're doing a bit, Percy.
A bit warm.
Just converting to rear coil springs, you know.
Coil springs?
No.
You're winding me up? What's that all about?
I've just put a fresh set of springs on the front. This is a lovely car. God, I'm warm. Yeah, Heritage Shell.
A Heritage Shell?
Very unusual. I think it's the only rubber bumper GT Heritage Shell I've ever seen. A Heritage Shell, I don't know whether you can hear it.
I'll just pause a second while. Sorry, Bergerac, where were we before
the
man
I've put up with all day? Hammering, grinding.
I don't know how you told it. Do you want to come and share my new unit with me?
I can't afford your expensive,
I don't
shiny places.
You can afford not to, mate. How you sell these high quality vehicles out of this place, I do not know. It's like a shed with no roof.
Well, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. It's got character. When the water's dripping on you in the winter and you've got 4 jumpers on.
Yeah. Well, that's the same anywhere, isn't it? So, how much did you say this shell was brand new?
So, well, today, if you want to buy a brand new Heritage Shell, it's 17.5 grand, unpainted. So to build a car like this, you're talking what?
25, 30.
Well,
paint?
By the
Paint.
time you painted it,
Yeah.
put an interior in it, done all the running gear, you're up 30, 35 grand, really, aren't you?
It does look clean, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a new shell in 2006, and then I think what's happened is the guy, whoever had it, has passed away, and it's sat for a long time.
Right.
So I'm just doing a bit of...
Nice plate on it as well.
Yeah.
If you were called
But
Vernon Frederick Patrick,
car.
Look at that, yeah.
But yeah, it'll make a really nice straight car. So I'm just, let's say, going through all the mechanicals, just had all new rear brakes.
All
sort of
I've
stuff.
never really caught you doing a bit before, Bruce.
I don't just mess around.
Well, I'm not being funny, mate, but I've been away for a week, and then you've been away for a week.
I've got a tan. That's not just dirt. You know.
Where have you been? Italy?
Been to Sicily, yeah, for a lovely wedding.
For a wedding?
Yeah, not mine.
I believe you're getting married.
I am. End of July.
Well, what's
Time's come.
I didn't receive an invite in the post.
It's a very select crowd.
Oh my God.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
No, I'm only joking. I hate weddings anyway. It's a wasted labour. Waste of a day's graft, isn't it, when you go to a wedding? Just there all day, bored out, nothing to do but drink beer and eat food.
What's wrong with that?
Oh man, I can't think of anything worse. Honestly, better just fall asleep.
Terrible.
And get told off for going to my phone. Right,
So
what I was going to say was Cadwell Park on Sunday.
Oh, is it?
Fancy it.
What's going on?
Mod Sports.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Might be free, actually.
33 Mod Sports. I'm going to try and video it for Shrigleytube. But it'll be a week after, obviously. Because we'll have to upload this on Friday.
I've not even watched the 100th episode yet. Do you like a little...
There's not much to see, I'm afraid. It was an ancillary museum visit and a bit of Tatton Park. Yeah. Yeah. I saw
a bit soggy.
it was a bit quiet, but
Was it?
you know the old school, they don't like paying twice, do they? They don't like paying £9 to get in Tatton Park and then £14 on the gate.
You're not wrong.
Not when the Cape's Fallen All and all the rest of them are free entry, virtually. Yeah, well, that's great, that Bergerac. I'm glad you're back in town anyway. That's a nice car. What's it? Is this it?
This is the one you saw last week, but it's...
Is it prepared now?
It's now prepped and advertised for sale.
Oh, yeah, she looks lovely.
It's an absolute stunner. I've never seen the only welding that it's ever had in its 50 years. It's had rear quarters. Apart from that, everything else is fresh and original. It's just never been messed with. It's done 1,000 mile a year. Got all of the history since new. It's one of those cars that you just
How much is that worth, Berg?
Well, it's up for 10 grand, which is not a lot of money for what it is. Because where genuinely, where are you going to find another one that's
Have you got a rotten
totally
one?
original panel?
If you got a rotten one for £1,000,
Very naughty.
no, I'm serious. I'm upping you here, not knocking you.
Yeah.
If you got a rotten one for £1,000,
Oh yeah.
it'd be 25 bags to make it
Easily.
look like that.
Look how straight the panel work is. That's all original. Look at it. It's absolutely amazing.
If someone buys this off Shrigleytube, I want a commission.
It's had the sides painted at some point. but
Right.
The paint on the bonnet and the scuttle and the rear deck and everything's original. It's incredible.
Looks too good for original. BMC.
Absolutely incredible.
What year is it on?
74. It's one of the last of the chrome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But all the
Oh, you
interior,
need to sort that. It's got a dent there.
Yeah.
You could dolly them out.
It's history.
No.
Look inside and it's even got the I think I showed you last week, didn't I? It's got the original rubber floor mats and sill covers that you can't get. They're totally original. And I've never seen them in that sort of condition ever. In fact, you just never see them. It's just a lovely car.
It's nice.
Not been messed around with. All original seat covers, original everything, you know.
I like old cars, but unfortunately, I've driven one of these. In fact, I've raced
You know
one
what,
of
this
these.
drives really nicely as well. It's not worn out, it's not been welded up or cocked eyes. So,
Mate,
you know,
there's driving nicely. You need to drive a Hillman one day, then you'll understand what a nice drive is.
I understand.
Right, I'm over and out, pal. I'm going to bore the viewers to death. They'll all be falling asleep. Congratulations, YouTubers. You've made it to the end of episode 101. Just before you go, this is my mate Shauno. You recognise him, the man on the lathe. We've just been to Silsden to pick up this lump of treasure. My mate Shauno said to me last night, we went to Wetherspoons for a bit of tea because our C Club wasn't on. And he said, I bought an engine, Andy. It's, what is it?
It's a Coventry Victor twin cylinder diesel.
He said he tried to pick it up, but he couldn't. Him and his missus couldn't pick it up in the back of the car. Where was it? We've been Silsden.
Silsden, yeah.
Isn't there a famous stock car driver from Silsden?
515, mate.
515. Wow. Yeah. So we went there, and this morning, Saturday morning, we took the engine crane with us, and we've hoiked it in the back. And what's the big plan, mate? You're gonna do something with it?
Absolutely nothing, probably.
I thought you were going to take it to a stationary engine show.
We are, yeah.
What do you mean we are?
We are.
Mate. Oh, I love anything like that, mate. Look at the quality of it. Little bits of brass and stuff. I don't know what. It's got to be 70s, I think. But yeah, brilliant that, mate. Well done. And then, as a byproduct, when I was walking around the place, it was like an old unit. I found a mini SU carb mini clocks, some amyl carbs, a horn, some mini wheel trims. I thought to myself, they'll go great on my stand in November.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, it's been a good all-round trip, that, mate. Well done. Thanks for inviting me. Right, we'll over and out at that, and we'll see you next Sunday at 7. Bye for now. The ambulance on the MOT. Look at that, she's absolutely mint, isn't she? Hey?
Seen who the new doctor is?
Doctor?
Billy Piper. Oh.
Is she fitter? Oh, mate, have you seen how mint this is for an old ambulance? It's absolutely belting, mate. I can't believe it. It's got a bit of an oil leak.
Where's that chainmail?
Don't know, but we see them.
See that heat shield? It looks like chainmail.
These core plugs here. This is the engine out of my old stock car.
Right.
Yeah. It's got a little
set of core plugs in it.
held in with little cap heads, stainless ones at that. Look at that. What a machine. They don't make them like they used to, that's for sure. Look at the chassis rail on that. It's not even crusty. Belting.